The document object model, often called DOMDocument, is PHP's built-in class for advanced XML processing. This allows for parsing and manipulation of XML documents with full DOM support, providing a robust set of features for managing XML data. To begin working with XML in PHP, it's essential to create an instance of the document object model, that is DOMDocument class. The following code shows how to instantiate a document object model object and configure basic settings. First, a new document object model instance is created. The constructor takes the version number as the first argument and the encoding as the second argument. Next, enable output formatting for better readability by setting the format output property to true. Also, disable preserving whitespace to keep the document clean by setting the preserve whitespace property to false. Once you have a document object model instance, you need to load your XML data into it. The document object model class provides two primary methods for this purpose, which are demonstrated here. To load XML data from a file, you can use the load method, passing the file path as an argument. Alternatively, to load XML data directly from a string, you can use the load XML method, passing the XML string as an argument. These methods will parse the XML data and populate the document object model object for further manipulation. After loading the XML data, you'll want to navigate the XML structure to access specific elements and their content. Here's how you can access the document root and traverse its elements. To get the root element of the document, use the document element property of the document object model object. From the root element, you can access child nodes, such as the first child or the last child, using the child nodes first child and last child properties respectively. These methods allow you to move through the XML hierarchy and access individual elements. To locate specific elements within an XML document, the XPath is very helpful. Here are the basics of using XPath to find elements. First, create a document object model XPath object, passing the document object model instance to its constructor. To find elements by tag name, use the query method with an XPath expression like /tag name. This will return a node list of all elements with that tag name. Similarly, to find elements by attribute, use the query method with an XPath expression that includes the attribute condition, such as /tag name, open bracket at the rate attribute equals value, close bracket. These XPath queries enable you to precisely target the elements you need. Once you've located an element, you'll often want to extract its content or attribute values. Here's how to read element content in PHP. To get the text content of an element, use the text content or node value property. Both properties return the text content of the element. To get the value of an attribute, use the getAttribute method, passing the attribute name as an argument. You can also check if an element has a specific attribute using the hasAttribute method, passing the attribute name as an argument. These methods provide convenient ways to access the data stored within XML elements. The document object model allows you to modify elements within the XML document. Here's how to update text content and attributes. To modify the text content of an element, simply assign a new value to the text content or node value property. To set or update an attribute, use the setAttribute method, passing the attribute name and value as arguments. To remove an attribute, use the removeAttribute method, passing the attribute name as an argument. These modification methods enable you to dynamically update the XML data. To extend the XML structure, you can add new elements to the document object model. Here's how to create and append new elements. First, create a new element using the createElement method, passing the tag name as an argument. You can then set attributes for the new element using the setAttribute method. To add text content to the element, create a text node using the createTextNode method, passing the text content as an argument. Append the text node to the new element using the appendChild method. Finally, Append the new element to the root element or any other appropriate parent element using the append child method. This process allows you to dynamically build and extend the XML structure. When it's necessary to restructure the XML document, you can remove elements from the document object model tree. Here's how to delete elements. To remove a child element, first get the parent node of the element using the parent node property. Then call the remove child method on the parent node, passing the element to be removed as an argument. In PHP 8 and later versions, you can directly remove an element using the remove method. To clear all child nodes of an element, you can set the text content property to an empty string. These methods provide flexibility in removing elements and cleaning up the XML structure. After making modifications to the document object model, it's essential to save the changes. Here are a couple of ways to save XML changes. To save the changes to a file, use the save method, passing the file path as an argument. Alternatively, to get the XML data as a string, use the save XML method. This method returns a string containing the XML representation of the document. These saving methods allow you to persist your changes to a file or retrieve the XML data for further processing. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.